How does this keep happening? All Bethesda has to do is make a Fallout game and abandon it and let modders fix it for free. And they're gonna end up looking good because people like it. But somehow, Bethesda can't even do that. The last time Bethesda updated Fallout 4, it was unplayable for normal people, and you needed to download mods to fix it. Well, guess what Todd is doing now? For some reason, he feels like threatening us and giving another major patch to Fallout 4. It's coming, and you know what that means. It's gonna break everything. It's gonna fix nothing. And it's probably going to make the situation 10 times worse because the things that previously allowed the game to be playable with mods is no longer going to work. They did it again. Bethesda really is just doing it again. All you have to do is just do nothing. And they can't even do that. And they're going to pat themselves on the back after this one. Oh, the next generation update 2.0 just dropped. It's great. People love it. No one's playing the game because the game doesn't work, Todd. What do you mean they love it?
Fallout 4 is getting another update. Bethesda announced that on Tuesday, August 18th, tomorrow, a patch will be coming to Fallout 4 focusing on general creations improvements. And while there is a lot more to dive into there, including what is going to happen to your mods as a result of this one, as well as some precautions that Bethesda even recommends you take before this update.
I love that Bethesda literally tells you to do these things manually because you know how you can tell that Bethesda is completely clueless what they're doing? They're talentless losers. The fact that all of these things that you're supposed to do manually could be done from their side. But they don't do it. But they refuse to because they can't. They don't know how to do it.
This post also revealed that an update will be coming to Skyrim, with details coming soon, and this is likely to be far more exciting as well as impactful for a lot of you. And it was even revealed that Oblivion Remastered will be getting a new update. Will those stutters and declining performance?
No, that will not be fixed. I kind of assume that they're gonna fix Oblivion Remastered. When I say fix, I obviously mean not actually fixed. Because the time that Asha Sharma forced Todd to go on Reddit, and obviously it wasn't actually Todd, it was some kind of intern who was pretending to be Todd. So, he probably just took a big huff of meth and off to the races he was. Everyone in the Reddit thread was telling fix Oblivion Remaster, what is this? We don't care, fix your game. And needless to say, something needs to be done. Now, again, can Bethesda fix anything? No. Okay, listen, they're not even using cloud to code at this point. They're using ChatGPT. Okay, it's not looking good.
Finally be fixed? Sadly, I don't have the best news on that front. But first, looking at the Fallout 4 update, this is coming just tomorrow. And while yeah, this update will break some of your mods, particularly on PC, we honestly do have to talk about the fear following this update announcement and some of the general
based person understanding what's happening. They know. They know what this is.
And some of the general backlash from the community around this all. The Fallout 4 update getting announced and the extra Skyrim update rider has led to tons of posts and even some articles around the fanbase being worried this is going to break mods or even the game in general. And to be clear here, as long as things go as expected, only DLL mods on PC should be breaking as a result of this. That being a specific type of mod that requires the script extender, and in the past with these smaller updates, things are usually fixed quite quickly. So while yes, stuff like Fallout 4 script extender and some of the mods requiring that are going to be broken, hopefully it's fixed relatively quickly, and hypothetically, console mods should be totally fine from this. Hypothetically. And that brings us to the actual reason for a lot of this fear.
Starfield wasn't even playable on PlayStation. It was so bad that PlayStation issued refunds. And that's an unmodded thing, okay? Bethesda couldn't fucking get Starfield to run on PlayStation. Well, granted, nothing runs on PlayStation. But they couldn't even get baseline Starfield to run on PlayStation. And you're gonna trust a mod update, a patch from Bethesda? You gotta be joking.
Several Fallout 4 updates have broken things in major ways. This not because of the update's intended changes, but instead as a result of some bugs or other problems that keep shipping with these Fallout 4 updates. Like just in the past couple of years, many mods were functional.
I honestly feel that this is a little bit deceptive how Juicehead talks about the situation, considering there has not been a major update for any Bethesda game that has ever benefited from Bethesda's involvement. Every single major update or even minor updates for any game have always been a net negative for the players, for the fans, for everyone.
Only broken for Fallout 4 as they would now cause a stutter. This gameplay is just from using the unofficial Fallout 4 patch. I'm using one mod, one of the most popular, and now the game stutters. Fallout 4's DLC was broken for a week or more depending on your platform, and of course all of the content or even save games that relied on DLC, including mods, were also not working during that time, and the implementation of this new creations menu has brought so many bugs in general that people are very frustrated with it. Now thankfully, many of the bugs that were introduced as a result of this, the two major ones I just talked about there, have now been fixed. But that took a while. With one of those, it took over a year for...
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're literally talking about over a year. And there's still big bugs. Like, don't get it twisted. This is not like everything's fixed and dandy. This is one thing now maybe works properly on accident after a year.
To eventually be resolved. And even just more recently, many players had problems with restoring their load order using this new load order save function. As you went to restore your load order, some mods would just not be there anymore. They'd be missing, messing up the load order. So that's to say, this update breaking mods should only affect PC users using script extensions.
Okay, him using the error sound or whatever it's called is freaking me out, I'm not gonna lie.
But Bethesda has now developed quite a reputation with Fallout 4 updates to the point that people are genuinely afraid of these updates. On consoles, you can't just avoid these, and your favorite game might get briefly wrecked as a result. So now hopefully that's not going to happen here, but I do think we need a few bug-free updates.
Briefly as in 4 months?
To earn back that trust. It's not like all of this fear is totally unfounded, and Bethesda does give some specific precautions here. Prior to these updates, that being for Fallout 4 and Skyrim, we encourage players to log into your game save if you haven't done so in a while, or manually save your load order. Once your load order is saved, you'll be able to re-download your entire creations list at once when the update is live. That load order save function being the same thing I mentioned not working completely for some players earlier, but nonetheless, yes, make sure you actually at least attempt to back up your load orders, especially on the Skyrim side for whenever that bigger update does.
Attempt! And by the way, speaking about Skyrim, Skyrim's probably the worst example of what's happening. Now, I don't know, I haven't followed up what is the state of Skyrim, but previously, half a year ago, there were massive problems with Skyrim, because Bethesda updated something for the Anniversary Edition, and it reintroduced bugs that had been fixed 10 plus years ago. Yes, Bethesda reintroduced bugs that were fixed 10 plus years ago. And by the way, that means that they actually never found the bug and never understood the bug. They just kind of found a workaround around the bug. So it wasn't a problem anymore. That means they actually never even fixed those bugs if they just magically pop up.
As far as what the Fallout 4 update will contain, I wouldn't expect much. They mentioned general creations improvements, and that likely means backend improvements for the storefront or even bug fixes. A bug fix or two would be nice for Fallout 4 in general, but I wouldn't expect much there. Fallout 4 does still have a looming release with Fever Dreams. This was made by Kengath Creations, and very notably features the original voice actors for the protagonists for Fallout 4. So a free new release from Bethesda that has completely new voiced protagonist lines, and that's something we haven't heard in years now. But we have no idea when that's coming, and I sort of doubt tomorrow is the day. Separately, Fallout 4 does have a problem with its 255 plugin limit for ESPs. This exists on both consoles and PC, but it's a much larger issue now for consoles following the release of the 100GB mod storage space expansion a few months ago. With Anniversary Edition, things take up about 150 plugins of the 255 limit. This assuming you download all of the included creations, which of course many people are doing if you actually buy that version of the game. So now, add the 100GB of of mod space on top of that, and many users are downloading many more mods, and after about 100 mod downloads, you hit that limit and Fallout 4 is just going to crash as you try and launch it. Unfortunately,
Nice get. I mean, what else did we expect, honestly, at this point? I'm surprised the game didn't delete itself. I mean, you really need to be happy. Or maybe that's a bad thing, the game just doesn't automatically delete itself. I swear we're one patch away from the game deleting your Bethesda account out of mercy. Like, this is a fucking mercy killing at this point.
it's not actually clear what's broken or what went wrong. You just downloaded some mods and now the game's crashing.
Well, Bethesda never actually knows what went wrong. That's kind of part of the charm.
Main difficulty on consoles is the game doesn't actually tell you how many plugins you're actively using. So to manage this, you'd really just have to count and track how many mods or plugins you have active yourself. And naturally, as people play more and use more of the 100 gigabyte to download mods, this issue is becoming more and more widespread, where people are just getting random crashes and their game appears broken. It seems very unlikely that this is going to get fixed with tomorrow's update, but I still wanted to mention it because I think even some kind of basic indication as to how many plugins you currently have active would go a long way here, and hopefully we do see it added on consoles at least at some point. And of course, for those on PC, this update will break script extender, so prevent updates now as things will likely be broken for a few weeks at least. The fixes might be relatively simple, but a lot of modders have just moved on now. Fallout 4 is a decade-plus old game at this point, and not everyone's able to fix things on a moment's.
You know what's funny? It's like, moved on to what? No one's playing Starfield. Starfield is abandoned by modders at this point also. So, it's not like they're moving on. They're just done with how trash Bethesda is. That's it.
Notice. And that is even more true for this upcoming Skyrim update. This is going to be Skyrim's first update in over 2 years, and it'll likely be a big one, as this will hopefully bring the 100 gigabyte mod storage space expansion to consoles, following exactly what just happened with Fallout 4. Obviously, there's no exact timeline for this one, Bethesda just says they'll share more details soon, which likely does mean we'll be getting yet another heads up as to when the update is coming, which is very good. But assuming it follows what Fallout 4 did, those of you on Xbox Series X can expect up to 100 gigabytes of Skyrim mods now. That up from the current.
Wait, how long have we expected that? How long has been the console mod storage update been a thing? For a year now? Have they been trying to implement this literally for a year unsuccessfully at this point, or 2 years? It's been a while.
5 gigabyte limit, and particularly with Skyrim, certain DLC-sized projects hypothetically could now come to consoles as there's finally enough room for them. But Skyrim's interesting as modding that game these days is incredibly complex. Things have gotten so advanced on the Skyrim PC side that many mods require the additional functionality that's enabled by the script extender or even script extender based mods. And of course, those aren't available on consoles. That'll likely never happen for these older games. And who knows, it'll probably never even happen for some of the newer ones. As a result, a lot of the coolest content for Skyrim and even Fallout 4 is PC only. This really true on the Skyrim side. People are just doing crazy stuff with mods for this game. And if anything, this Skyrim update's likely to have a much larger impact on the PC side in this regard. It's been over 2 years since the last update, and with PC users in particular, it's really unlikely that this new update's going to change anything notable about the game. It'll likely just be a nuisance for a lot of players. A lot of Skyrim modding today actually uses the most updated version of the game on PC, unlike in Fallout 4 where downgrading is far more common even still. As such, Skyrim's now going to enter into yet another divided version period. Are you going to be using the most recent updated version, the pre-anniversary edition version, or just not quite the most updated version, the one prior? All of this of course being most confusing for more casual users. Most of the more hardcore modders or
pretty much everyone. Modders, again, people who watch these videos misunderstand. I know a lot of people watching this use mods. But the reality is, normal people don't. If you use mod, you are what is above an average fan. You are someone pre-dedicated to the game. There are very few people who casually just play games with mods. Very few. Most people who are modders are going to end up watching this, honestly. I would be surprised if there wasn't at least 50% people who watch this weren't modders for didn't play the game with mods, either Fallout or Skyrim or whatever. But most people don't use mods. Mods are still maybe like 10 to 20% of the player base. Now, previously, a couple of years ago, I would have said it's 5%, maybe, tops at best. But the modding conversation in the last 2 years has massively imploded and gotten a lot of people in it. People who did not know that modding was a thing. And now they know.
Mod users will just rename their folders or prevent the update in the first place. So more details to come, but when it comes
One of the best comments that I still tell people to do, someone commented this. I'm sorry I don't remember your name, but I do remember the comment. They made it so any downloaded file on Steam for Bethesda games is a README file. So when there is an update for any Bethesda games, the stuff does download, but it's a README, but it's a text or it's a README file or whatever the fuck it's called, and it doesn't actually impact the game. It downloads, but to enable it, you need to change it to the correct text document format or whatever for it to actually work, which is kind of hilarious and a pretty decent tip.
comes to the Skyrim update, this will likely have a pretty big impact on the PC side, but potentially on the console side with more mod storage space as well. Although, the one game that people are actually begging for updates is Oblivion Remastered. Following Bethesda's recent note where they announced the roadmap of upcoming titles, Todd Howard posted on Reddit about taking feedback from Reddit, and a ton of the time.
I mean, we talked about this already. There's nothing to say here. Todd Howard tried to be like, hee, ha, ha, I'm a Reddit lurker. Yeah, we know, Todd. That's why your decisions are so poor. We suspected. You didn't have to tell us. We kind of felt it, okay? We vibed the fuck out of you, okay? And everyone on Reddit was just like, fix the game, Todd! We don't care, Todd! Fix the game, Todd! That was pretty much it. That's a short and sweet summary what happened. People were extremely critical of him, which is actually something that I, for example, did not see coming. The fact that people would actually be critical of Todd Howard on Reddit even. I mean, you need to understand how poorly things are actually going, that Reddit is your enemy at this point. Ah, man. Reddit's usually its own enemy, but not like a developer or whatnot. Even though Reddit has gone crazy recently, well, it says recently as in the last 10 plus years, but whatever. In any case, that was our boy Juicehead. 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye.